Jay Crawford, Adam the Bull, Garrett Bush, Dustin Fox, Jason Lloyd, Tyvis Powell, plus, ba-da-da-da-da, you're loving him, Mikey McNuggets. And so many big names, it would take me hours to say all of their names. The ultimate Cleveland sports show starts now. Booyah!
Hey!
Here we are.
Welcome to Friday. This is a non-Browns preview Friday.
I mean,
It's the only one of the year.
It's less depressing, I guess.
Man, I was wondering why I was happy on the way on here. I was like, this is going to be
it
beautiful.
feels like a real Friday because of that.
Yeah. When G walked in, I thought he was wearing Eagles. I was like, things have gotten that bad? He's wearing Eagles stuff?
Wow. I was rooting for Myles Garrett.
No, I told him I can't get that off. I said, you know, the chat gives me a lot of leeway. They give me a lot of grace, but I can't just come in here with a Saquon Barkley jersey.
Yeah,
on.
no, that would not work. that would not work. Now, if Myles were to be traded to the Eagles and you came in with the Myles Eagles jersey, I suppose you could get that off.
No, here's the only way I could do it. Y'all let me, the chat watching, y'all let me know. If I said, you know, as a defensive end, as a person who likes defense, I admire the best pass rushers in the game. So what I did is I'm wearing the greatest pass rushers in a single week. So this week I got Reggie White,
grace, yeah.
Lawrence Taylor, Bruce Smith.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And then I have them on and just show them, pay homage.
Will you do drugs the day you wear the Lawrence Taylor jersey?
Absolutely not. I went and saw my financial advisor. I need to give him some more life insurance. And he told me he said when they ask you on these on these exams, don't you tell them you went to OU, and don't you tell them you experiment with anything. You just
Never tried it. Never
No,
tried
I
it.
don't even know, bro.
Where OU is.
What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? He's like,
You talking about Oklahoma?
Yeah, and you know what's wild? Because guess what? He said this happened to a dude like 2 days ago. He was like, yeah, it just happened to somebody 2 days ago. Yeah.
Because they went to OU, they actually got a
No,
worse rate?
he said, have you ever tried any recreational drugs?
Oh, okay.
And he told the truth.
that'll ding you.
He was like, yeah, one time, you know what I'm saying, I had some cocaine. He was like, yeah, this is over.
Yeah, that'll ding you. Prepare to double your premium.
You're like, yeah, you're uninsurable right now.
For one time?
One time.
That seems crazy.
Here's the logic to that.
I don't know why
Paul.
anybody would admit to using cocaine.
If they tell you, if you admit and you write down on that questionnaire,
Yeah.
yes, I've used it,
Yeah.
you
stupid.
probably used it more than once.
Probably.
Why am I blinking?
But
Look at
what
this.
happened there? They're changing the color?
Oh, this is a Christmas
they're
tree.
changing the color.
It's a Christmas tree. It's G. Bush Christmas tree.
Merry Christmas, G. Bush style.
Yeah, listen, this is an Irish Christmas.
That is wild right there, how they do
Yeah.
that. That is nice.
Somebody can go through dyslexia.
You're going to make me throw up.
Yeah,
here.
look.
Busy show,
Motion
90 minutes
sickness.
here. And then, of course, we go over to WKYC. Anthony is in for McNuggets. So, Ant, when we go to...
No, I'm Mikey McNuggets. Happy Halloween.
Oh,
Hello, everybody.
that's a great costume.
That's my role.
You pulled it off.
Yeah, I know. I thought about shaving the beard, but I'm not going that far.
We're going to WKYC at 12:30 for 30 minutes of...
Never before seen Cavs content off the top of the show, and then some Browns trade talk.
Well done, because we don't really have a lot of Browns in today's show.
No,
With
thank
the
God.
bye week. Yeah, I know. We get a little exhale. We get a little reprieve from our cocoon of craziness where we're trapped in this vortex of Browns conversation and we can't get out.
Yes.
It sometimes
Yeah.
feels like we're held hostage. I don't want to talk this much about the Browns. I don't. It's a life-altering opinion that I've just dropped out there, but
You know, Jay, you've said a few times recently that you're like pulling back.
I am pulling back.
And I got to tell you, you're full of crap. Because
My wife says the same thing.
Your wife is correct, of course. The wife is always right. Usually. The Browns are in your blood. The
When I
Browns
say-
are in your blood, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Here's what I'll say about that.
Yes.
Because I've been doing, my dad, before he passed in 2008, gave me some great advice. He said, look at your life as a book and your decades as a chapter. And at the end of each decade, do some self-inspection. Ask yourself, what did I accomplish in the last decade? Did I check some boxes on things I wanted to do in my life? And look forward as well and try to plot your next chapter. And I've done that. I turned 50 after my father passed. I really did some self-inspection then. That was when I had the epiphany of, why did I ever leave home? Why did I ever leave home?
Right.
I love this area. That is in my blood.
Sure,
And the
exactly.
teams are too. You're
Yes.
right to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But as I flipped the decade to 60 on the 4th of July this year, I did a lot of thinking about it, deep thinking, not a lot of conversation with people, just deep thinking about, okay, what do I want the next chapter of my life to look like, which, if you go by the law of averages in the United States, is my second to last chapter. And that's when you start looking at life differently. When there's more sand in the bottom of the hourglass than there is in the top, your worldview does change. It's happened to me for sure. And what I've said is, I want to consume sports the way I want to. If I want to watch it, then I'll watch it.
Right.
If I don't want to watch it, I won't. That was part of the reason for getting out of the ESPN bubble. I had to watch everything. And I found myself night after night saying, why am I watching the
Right, I don't
Nuggets
wanna
and the
watch this.
Lakers? I don't care about this garbage.
Right.
And so in my 50s, on the earlier side of that, I broke away and I came to a space where I was doing no sports. When I came to WKYC, I was strictly a fan, and I loved it. Now I've re-immersed myself in the cocoon of it, and I realized what it does to me mentally. It
Yes.
does impact me, the losing.
There's no doubt about it. And as someone who also has more sand in the bottom than the top, I understand what you're saying. I think the way I react to my sports team losing is different than it was when I was a kid. It's
Oh, mine
different
too.
than it was when I was 20s.
Yeah.
The pain doesn't last as long from the bad moments.
Nor do the highs.
Nor do the highs, right? But in the moment,
Oh.
if you're watching the game, you can say all you want. This team sucks. They're terrible. I'm not going to get. But in that moment, it's still there.
It is.
in
And
that moment.
so
You
your
can get away
statement-
from that moment quicker.
Yes.
But in the moment, nothing changes. In that moment, that pain that you felt time and time again doesn't go away.
What I've found is it's excruciating to be a Browns fan. We know
course.
that. I think, to me, the exercise that's worse, and don't take this the wrong way, I love you guys. I will miss you guys desperately. But the pain of all of it is talking about it for 6 hours a week.
Yeah.
It is painful to do that. And that's a choice.
Right.
And that's a choice that I'm in control of.
It is.
Thankfully.
But listen, you don't need to keep working.
No,
I'm sure, I don't know your personal finances, but I'm assuming you're fine.
Yes.
But you keep doing it.
I do.
Because you still have a passion for it.
I still got a lot out of it. I still love it. I will miss it when I give it up completely.
See what you guys got to understand, guys.
But I won't. 6 hours a week that I torture myself by having to talk about it, I won't miss that. I won't.
Let me give you this. So, in life, as we all know, that the more down you are, the more you don't have, the more pain, effort, excruciating nature that you go through. You got to go through those things to get to the reward. Now, the greatest thing in the world is coming through something and then finding hope at the other end.
Yes.
I always say, in the depths of what we've gone through as Browns fans, I always give people this one little nugget. We were at a same point similar to one time ago, right? A couple of years ago, we went 1-31. But everybody remembers, no matter if you're black, white, poor, rich, everybody remembers a little national televised game where they ran a Philly special, right? Mm-hmm. And threw the ball back to Baker Mayfield after they told him he was going to be the backup quarterback, right? Yeah. We watched Tyrod Taylor all off season, and he ends up getting injured. Baker Mayfield comes trotting in on his little horse, throws a rope down the middle of the field to Jarvis Landry. We said, wow.
The hope was back.
We ain't seen that throw ever. Yeah. Then he throw the Philly special. The thing about being a fan is the payoff is that much more sweet. Because if you can.
But then they dismantled the whole thing.
Right?
But and here we are again. And I'll tell you, people used to ask me this all the time at ESPN. Oh my God, how difficult is this for you, the 1-31? And here's what I honestly said, and it was the truth. I'll be honest with you. Not difficult. I don't live in Cleveland. I don't hear the nonstop talk. I'm not asked a million times about what I thought about the play on third down in the fourth quarter.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I would watch the games painfully on Sundays and then turn off the TV. That was easier for me because when I went to work at ESPN, trust me, the Browns were never a topic.
No.
Never.
Right.
We did not do Browns topics. Why would we? They were irrelevant. And so now what I'm finding is this second cycle, which is far too close to the last bottom of the talent cycle. But now that we're in this second one, this one's way more painful to me because I'm in the weeds, I'm in the minutia. I see all the idiotic moves that this organization makes, and I can't make excuses for them anymore.
Right. And it feels very hopeless right now.
It feels incredibly hopeless.
There's no reason for optimism.
There is
at
not.
the moment, and that could change.
It could on a dime. Look at your Bengals.
Yeah, it could.
But here's what has to happen for it to change on a dime. A lot of things have to break your way, and you've got to have luck involved. When the Bengals sat there with the number one, they had a transformative player coming out. There was no argument, is it Cam Ward or is it, none of that. They knew it's Joe Burrow. He is going to transform the Bengals franchise. He had him win a Super Bowl within a couple of years.
Right, but even
boom.
But even that to me feels like that's it. I don't think the Bengals are going back to the Super Bowl anytime soon. I don't think it's going to be necessarily Joe's fault. I just think the organization still stinks. The coach stinks.
But I like your situation a lot better than ours.
Sure, yes, there's hope. The Bengals have hope right now because they still have a good quarterback.
They do.
It's tough. It's hard. It feels really.
And honestly, it is in my blood. You're right about that. Listen, I will never stop loving the Browns. The Guardians and the Cavs are not nearly as frustrating for me. I get plenty of enjoyment from both of those teams.
Sure, yeah.
Even if they do flame out in the playoffs, it's about the 82-game journey and the 162-game journey. I get countless hours of enjoyment through the seasons.
Right.
With the Browns, I don't even get that.
No,
over the last 2 calendar years plus, I've had 5 times where I've turned off the television and felt good about my team. And then so to immerse myself in that madness by coming in to talk about it every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And the other thing, too, is I'm not by nature, you may not believe this, I really don't like to argue. I really don't. I like harmony. I like cohesion.
Yeah.
I hate division. I hate it, and particularly within families.
Sure.
And I see that I've said on this show a number of times, we have one of the most divisive fan bases I've ever seen. I stand by that. I mean, I think we're proving that again.
It's been from late Baker through now.
Yes, and that's when I started.
It's been very divided.
That's when it started for me too.
Yeah.
It wasn't always like that. But now, look, we all got the same thing in common. We all want to win.
Right.
I don't care who we win with.
Yeah.
Give me the winner. And I would hope we would all rally around that guy. But when we had that guy, we all rallied around Baker for a minute. And then it got ugly and split quick. And when it did, the train was off the tracks, and now we can't even get the train back on the tracks.
I think I tell people, hey, Anthony, I think we might have a guy.
A quarterback?
Was that you throwing it to me for a read?
Yeah,
Oh.
I think so.
Okay.
But he also thinks
Well,
they have a
I
guy.
just wanted to show my watch off.
I hope you're right.
We know you think
mind.
that, and I hope that.
Yeah.
But the problem is, I don't trust this organization to get any of it right.
No.
Not the development of him.
No, nothing.
Not the way they bring him in.
Gotta get lucky.
There's nothing
get
to
lucky.
trust in this organization.
There is nothing to trust in.
Yeah.
And so when I no longer have to, for my job, talk about this, my life will improve.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, I'm just going back to when I moved here in 2011. I mean, that's 15 years almost at this point. And there's only been, I would say, 2 2/3 seasons where you can even enjoy the ride.
Isn't that sad?
In 15 years, because obviously with Baker in 2020, the 2023 out of nowhere with Flacco, and I'll say the first 2/3 of the season, the year with Brian Hoyer
was fun.
Before they were
fun.
7-5. I remember going on the air. Browns are going to the playoffs. I remember making that declaration, and then they forced Johnny Manziel in there.
And they lost.
And I know Hoyer wasn't playing great towards the end, but they forced Johnny Manziel. It all went to hell. Yeah. And so you've barely had the let's enjoy the season. Even if we understand with Joe Flacco we're not going to win the Super Bowl.
And you're just going back the 15 years, 16 years that you've been here. I'll take you back to 1991.
Right.
Was the last full year that I was able to really get into the team and root like crazy from start to finish and think that there was a chance that you could win a Super Bowl.
Right, and the Bernie years was the last time for Browns fans
that was it.
That there was any consistency of success.
Yes.
Any. That's insane.
And
that it's that long. It's insane.
It's mind-boggling.
Your son who's here today is how old? I can't remember.
Corey's 33. 33.
And the Browns have never won a division in his life.
Never.
Never.
I said on the air Wednesday of this week that my biggest mistake, this is self-inspection, maybe someone that else watched me parent might come up with a bigger one. I feel the biggest parental mistake I made was not allowing him to be a Browns fan, encouraging him to be a Browns fan. And I know that sounds like, oh my God, that's your biggest mistake. I regret it. I watch, when I'm lucky enough to be with him and watch a game, he doesn't know I do this. I glance at him and I see 33-year-old me, and the pain is real.
Of course.
And I'm like, oh my God, I did this to him. I did this to him. And son, I apologize to you.
It's okay, Corey.
It is going to be sweeter if it happens.
But I wish I hadn't done this to you.
Only thing we can rely on.
That's it.
That's it. It's hope.
It is sweeter. Yankees win a World Series. Dodgers win the World Series. Who cares?
Yeah, it's one of 27.
The Blue
28.
Jays win the World Series.
Big deal.
It's been 30 years.
Yes, it's a big deal.
That's exciting, and I hope they do
Guardians
tonight.
win a World Series. It's been 70 years.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Man.
Well, in Halloween fashion, I'm going to throw you guys back into the Saw torture chamber. After this read, we're talking Browns. The NFL season is here,
Very
and
good,
FanDuel
Anthony.
has an offer you don't want to miss. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, put down $5, and if it hits, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets across the app. I love watching football. Even more exciting when you bet a little bit something and get right in on the action. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com/UCSS to download the FanDuel app today and get started. All right, guys. We're talking Browns. Sorry, Jay.
No, that's
We
okay.
got to grade their position groups through the first half of the season here. Mike wanted to do this morning, so
Yeah.
I am obliging.
I mean, this is a painful topic here. I mean,
It is.
I saw this on the rundown yesterday. Like, grade the Browns through the first half of the season, position group by position group. Can we just say F for every position? Is there any? What's the highest grade we have, guys? What's your highest grade
C.
for any position group?
A C.
For which group?
Tight ends. I separated wide receivers from tight ends.
Yeah, you should.
If I didn't, obviously,
I got a B.
yeah,
you got a B for the tight
you got
ends.
C for tight ends. You got B for who?
No. I got a B for the defensive line.
This is your highest grade.
That's highest grade.
Okay.
Yeah, you could. I could be moved to a B on the defensive line.
Yeah.
I think Alex Wright has played very well.
Yeah, that's a good
Isaiah
point.
McGuire,
That's a good point,
Malik
G.
Collins. Mason Graham, rookie so-so, but there hasn't been any crazy,
Nobody's been terrible on the defensive
there's
line.
nobody I could point and be like, oh my gosh, he shouldn't be playing. And plus, if they just had a little more success from a few more people,
Yeah.
I can squint and say it might be a B+ just because Myles Garrett is playing that well.
In fact, I got a B+ for the defensive line. I'm with you there. I got it even higher.
I missed on that. Yeah, you're right. They have been the standout group.
Yeah, and unlike every other position group, there's no weak spot.
Yeah.
Right? Like, the secondary's pretty good, but there's weak spots there.
Yeah.
Right? But in the defensive line, who's their worst defensive lineman that plays?
Yeah, they're
Nobody's
deep.
terrible.
They rotate in and out.
Yeah.
And you're right. Yeah, it's
Myles Garrett alone is going to raise the grade, obviously.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
But, the defensive line is by far the best unit on this team.
So we're going to start with the best and work our way to the worst.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of worst, unfortunately.
So-
Yeah, there are
There's a lot of F's on this team. But
If that's
so what's the second best? Is it Jay when C?
So I would
tight
go
ends?
C with the tight ends, but after that, I've got offensive line F,
Yeah.
wide receivers F, defensive
That's
backs.
an insult to F to call the wide receivers an F.
As low as I could go. You're
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
though. You're right. I mean,
That should be like a Z. I don't know if that's a
let's give him a Z. The first ever Z. You're right, Bull.
It's a pass fail, and I failed.
I can't
What's the
give them any points.
No,
I
that's
can't.
the worst.
Running backs, I would give a C because I think at times, my son and I were having this conversation on the
Yeah.
way to the show. At times, Judkins has looked like him.
Yeah.
But his last two games, he's been abysmal. Is
Right.
that because
but
of
I
the
don't
line?
think I think it's because of the line.
I
More
do
the
too.
line than him.
I do
Yeah.
too. I have
Yeah.
hope that he's going to be eventually the player that we want him to be.
Right.
So,
But-
Gee, go ahead.
So let me. I'll start with the running game. So
Yeah.
when me and Tyvis just got done breaking down the all 22 film, and there are multiple times where we put on the tape and we're trying to figure out who's blocking who, and there's at least once or twice a play where there are multiple guys that are let free, that are free running in the backfield, and we don't know who's supposed to block them multiple times. So to me, the offensive line, yes, is bad, but also the scheme in which they go about blocking, the blocking assignments seem weird. I'm trying to figure out what their principles are, what are their landmarks, and guys are just in the backfield, and it's just like, and it's hard enough to win games when you got defensive linemen that are good at shedding blocks and playing gap sound football. But it's even impossible where you got. There was one play on they ran a play with Quishon Judkins, and they just completely turned the defensive end loose. They had a nice
Yeah,
little
came in
lane.
unblocked, and
Yeah.
then I don't even know who was supposed
Who was
to block him.
supposed to block, and the
Yeah.
guy that was next to him left another dude with to block somebody in the second level,
Yeah.
and he was free. If he wouldn't have made a tackle, the other guy would have. So it's so confusing in their scheme and how they blocking it. The offensive line is very far away. I think we get blinded by the fact that
We sure do miss Bill Callahan.
we missed that, and I think generally speaking, it's just not the same scheme. It's not.
Yeah, this is how bad the units are on the Browns offense. That the offensive line, which we all agree is terrible, in my opinion, is the third best unit out of 5. Because as terrible as the offensive
right,
line
yeah.
is, wide receiver and quarterback are worse.
Yeah, you're right. You're
Yeah,
right.
It's
Like if I had, I mean, they're all terrible. But if I had to, like at least there's a couple of, at least in the offensive line, like Batonio and Teller they're still serviceable players. The rest of the line stinks.
Conklin at times.
Right, Conklin. Whereas at wide receiver, Judy's been he's the only guy who's done anything in his career, and he's been hideous.
I hesitate to say this.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it declaratively. I'm asking it as a question.
Yeah.
And the reason I don't say it is because that's like, to me, the lowest thing you can say about a player is they've quit. and I'm not saying Judy has quit.
Yeah.
But after watching what he put on tape last year and seeing what he's done this year, it's a legitimate question to ask, has he just given up?
Yeah, in fact, I asked Zach Jackson that question yesterday about the team in general.
Right.
And he didn't think the team had quit, but
I don't think the team has
no,
either.
but I think it's a very fair question.
I mean,
about Jerry
how does
Jeudy.
a guy go from being a 1,400-yard receiver to, and now he led the league in drops last year, but he was still productive.
Yeah.
He's again near the top in drops, but he's not productive.
No, when you have whatever he had last year, how many yards did he have? 1,200?
13, yeah. I mean,
when
he
you
had
have
a lot.
1,300 yards, you live with the drops, but when you have 300 yards.
You can't. And, you can say, well, he's got a rookie quarterback throwing to him, and that's fair. But Flacco was here for a number of games, and I didn't see that big of a difference.
And the thing is, it wasn't like they had great quarterback play last year when he had a great year.
They didn't.
And even in Denver, where he was an underachiever, but he was still an adequate player, again, playing with terrible quarterbacks the whole time he was there. So the quarterbacks being terrible, to me, is not an excuse for being as bad as he's been.
I was watching, going through the film, and usually when I watch film, I watch it with Tyvis, and I'll watch it with by myself, and then I'll reach out to some people, and then I'll watch other blogs about some of the same content to figure out, hey, let me see if I can, get some ideas of what they're running. And I think Jay Burns on the Orange and Brown report had we're talking about the Browns offense, and he said, and he articulated it a lot better than I do. Usually I just say, man, this is trash. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's Minimowski. But in layman's terms, he's looking at it and saying the Cleveland Browns offense is dated in some of their concepts, like the spot routes, where it's a little spot, they're running a corner route and a wide receiver is coming over the middle and sitting down, or some of the curl flat throws, or the drive concepts, or some of these concepts are basic, and a lot of teams have no issue covering that up. It's on tape. They've been running the same thing for a long time. So what happens is there is no layups. There aren't any in any offense. You need a layup for your quarterback, especially when they're young. Like easy throws where I manipulate guys and get you open and have some concepts. But those aren't there. So now you got a young quarterback, plus you got Jerry Jeudy, and he's gonna have to work to run these routes that everybody knows are coming. So there's deficiencies in the way that they go about scheming and doing things. And a couple of years ago, the reason people say, well, did he become a bad coordinator overnight? No. What happened is teams got a tape on you, right? And you got a little more older. You got a little longer in the tooth. You're not as physical. And you got to remember, you had two legit running backs in their prime. So you could do some stuff and be basic. I'm just better than you up front. But now when you get older, you can't run that same stuff, and you don't. And by the way, let's keep it real. We say what we want about Jarvis and Odell Beckham Jr. Those two are light years.
No, God.
Light years.
I went
ahead
back and
of that.
watched just a half of a game from that year. I'd forgotten what that looked like.
Real receivers.
To have real receivers making great catches and always making the easy catch, but sometimes making catches that the percentage rate of completion is very low. Those guys were making quarterbacks look better because they were catching balls that shouldn't have been caught. We don't do that anymore.
No, and when your top two receivers are good, even if your third, fourth, and fifth guy are just guys, well, they're going to play better. Yeah. Because there's less pressure on them. Sure. There's less. You got the weakest coverage. Teams are worried about the other two guys, especially when you throw that into great running game. Think about this, guys. So the Browns 5 position groups. I'm with you. A C on the tight end.
So where we at is the running total. So we give.
I would say a C for tight end, D for running back, and F for the other 3.
Yes,
If you hired when Corey was a kid, let's say he was struggling in school, and you hired a tutor to tutor him, right? You wanted to tutor him in 5 different subjects. And then at the end of 1 year with this tutor that you're paying a lot of money to tutor him, Corey comes home and here's his report card, a C, a D, and 3 Fs. You keeping that tutor?
Well, so there's going to be a conversation.
Yeah, like what are you guys doing?
And there's going to be multiple conversations.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the teachers and say, is he putting in the effort?
Right.
I'm going to go to the tutor and say, why is he struggling? Maybe it's something that I don't know about. I'm going to find out. And in all likelihood, I'm going into that meeting with the exact idea of this person is no longer going to be teaching my son.
That's right.
In all likelihood.
That's right.
And look, in professional life, we all work in ecosystems where there is a pecking order. There's a boss, there's subordinates, and in successful organizations, there are punitive actions when you don't perform, and there are benefits when you do perform.
Right.
And this very system, if you think about it, is flawed in that when I write a contract down and I tell you this is what you're going to get, that's what you're going to get. Would they redo Jerry Jeudy's contract right now if they had the chance? No. Would they? You could ask this of every player on the football team. Denzel, yes.
Yeah.
Miles, even though there's trade talk, probably.
You know what? I don't think they would if they had to do it over again. Only, even though he's worth every dollar.
Yeah.
I think they'd probably be better off trading him. As crazy as that seems, I don't know. I know you're going to disagree, but
we'll
maybe
probably
not.
Talk about this later. I don't know, but if we don't,
but every other player, you wouldn't.
Wouldn't. Yeah. And so when there's no risk of a punitive action being taken against you,
right?
And there's no hope of putting out the fire, you put away your squirt gun. You're I can't do anything with this.
Just think about, I know it's not a lot of money in the grand scheme of things, but why did you guarantee Isaiah Bond's contract?
That's a very bull. At the time, we looked at that and said, wait a minute, what?
Why did you need to do that?
What had he done? Nothing.
So when you are...
And by the way, at the same time, they were telling Quinshon Judkins, we're not going to do that for you. Wait a minute, what?
See, that's the thing that I have a hard time with, because when we get on these diatribes and we talk about all of the deficiencies, we talk about the missed picks, we talk about the ineptitude with the offense, we talk about these things. But in Cleveland, we hold so tightly. I feel like we're hoarders. I feel like you ever watch people that do hoarder documentaries and they bring a psychologist in and it's some lady with 7 cats named Nancy. And she keeps collecting magazines and newspapers
and doesn't throw the trash out.
She got this. Why this newspaper from 1972?
I can't throw this out.
I can't. This is vintage.
I haven't finished a crossword puzzle.
And so we sit.
That's a hard watch.
And you're looking at them, and you can see them physically melt when they start taking water bottles away from them.
Yes.
And you're like, what? Look, what happens to a person in that? So if I'm hearing this and I'm saying, well, the development, the plays, I don't know why they're making these moves with certain personnel, but when you say, well, maybe it's time that we get a fresh look for somebody else to come on here and do it, and then we say, but who are we going to get? I can't replace my newspapers.
Right.
These are, what am I going to, they're like, Nancy, you don't have a coach. Nancy, you don't have an evaluator. You can always get another. By the way, the thought process that we let people go too soon, I mean, this is 7 years, man.
There's enough hay in the barn for us to know. We've seen the good, we've seen the bad, and there's been a lot of ugly. And it's hard. I'm very much in line with you and Jason, I think, on the Stefanski issue. I can no longer make a case for him staying. And I say that at the same time to say this. I do think he's a good coach, and I do think he'll have success when he leaves here. But in this environment, there's too much outside noise going on. Let's just quickly talk about this.
And they've lost too much with him, Jay.
Yeah, they have.
It becomes a point.
There's only been 2 great seasons.
Lost too much, and the first one was his first year. That's so long ago now.
God, it feels like
it's the last 5 years they've had one good season, and it's just not.
It's hard. And they got boat raced in the playoff.
Can we if we are grading are we grading the coaching staff too?
It's an F. Sure, F.
So, front office
F. Like, there's very few areas in this organization. Owner, Z.
Z.
I don't want to. I guess we probably shouldn't spend too much time on it, but it is a hot topic. There was a lot of smoke around this yesterday. There are some Philadelphia reporters reporting that this is a conversation that's being had inside the building there. Would you do a Miles for 3 first-round picks with the Eagles? If you're Andrew Berry, and they do call today and say...
I keep hearing, Mary Kay and Zach have both said it's
not happening.
It's nearly impossible because of the cap.
Sure.
Would I trade Myles Garrett for 3 first-rounders? I would. Now, here's the problem. I don't trust the guy. I would only do it if I knew Andrew Berry's getting fired because I don't trust him to get the picks right. But as great as Myles Garrett is, I just don't see the Browns turning it around in time for him to still be playing at his best. Now, he's such a freak then maybe 3 years from now he's still the best player in football. I don't know.
And if you get the quarterback part of it right,
then it will turn quickly.
For me,
quicker.
Bull, the reason I say no is because where would those picks
They're
be?
late picks.
They'd be 28
But
to
good
32.
teams, it doesn't matter.
But this isn't a good team.
No, that's true.
This isn't a team that has hit on. I mean, they're essentially going to be early second-round picks.
Facts.
The Eagles are looking like they could make a dynastic run here. And to give you a Philly insider perspective, I texted probably the guy I know that knows the Eagles the best. Very simple. Would you give up 3 firsts for Miles? No way in hell.
If you're the
He's
said it.
from an Eagles perspective. No way in hell.
From the Browns' perspective, you guys just gave the front office an F. If we fully
I'm
the front office will be here, why do you want those picks?
That's exactly right. I can't trust these guys with 3
I'm
first round
surprised the
picks.
Eagles fans said no to that.
I honestly didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
But here's what it tells me. They like their team.
Right. But
they feel like had they not already won the Super Bowl, maybe they do it.
But in the end.
But they've already got one in the barn, and they're looking pretty good to get back.
Here's the thing, though. If I'm an Eagles fan, I'll trust Howie Roseman no matter what he does.
I will, too.
He gets benefited down on everything.
And that's why I doubt that they would even be really seriously considering
I don't buy it. But
I don't either.
Think about Dallas.
Yeah.
So this is why I'm against trading superstar players, because you never get the right capital back and right compensation back.
In the Texans,
unless it's Deshaun Watson.
Well, here's the thing. Like, go look at the Dallas Cowboys. They trade Micah Parsons, right?
Right.
So now they're sitting down there and be like, hey, we got a pretty good team. We just need an edge rusher.
Right.
Well, you just had one.
Well, but that's a big difference, though, because Micah Parsons isn't in the prime of his career. I mean, he's 25, right?
But
Myles Garrett's late prime, not
Myles
early
Garrett
prime.
will turn 30 this season.
But so I giving them comparison. If I trade my car today, right, and they give me $7,000 for the car, right, I'm on a bus. So now I don't have $7,000 to go spend and just go to the club with. No. I need to take that $7,000,
replace your car,
and replace my car. And if the car had an issue with it, I need to put some more money with it.
Yes, you're right.
In order to get something that's dependable.
Yeah. So you're right. It could backfire in terms of like you blow those picks. However, and it's easy for us all to say because it's been the case for so many years that, well, what's the point? Because the Browns are just going to blow those picks anyway.
I just don't trust them to make these picks.
But the point is, as is with Miles, zero his fault, they're not going to win. They're not winning. They're not going to win.
Yeah.
So what I have to do if I were Jimmy Haslam is I have to fire Andrew Berry. I'd make the trade in theory if I could. I don't know if it's even realistic.
I wouldn't even make it with Philly. I'd make it with another team that you think might be giving you better draft capital. The 3 firsts to me kind of look like 3 seconds.
But what team that's not a championship contender is going to do that?
Well, I mean, you're right. They're not. Whoever makes this move is going to be a team that looks at Miles as the missing piece.
Like the only teams I could see doing this are Philly, Buffalo, and Kansas City, and those are all going to be late picks for the next 3 years.
Let me.
I'd want like maybe a veteran or two traded back in the mix.
Yeah, see, there was some talk about, well, what if they gave you Carter back? Well, I don't know that Philly wants the trade without Carter.
No.
You would want to team these guys together.
He's one of the best defensive.
And then I heard, well, what about Brown? Well, Brown's been a cancer. What do you think he'd be in this locker room?
Right.
And by the way, Jay, like if they give you 3 first rounds, it's going to be probably these are future. I don't believe the Eagles have 2 first round picks this year.
It'd be the next 3 years.
Yeah, it'd be the next 3 years, and those picks would likely fall between 28 and 32,
so let me ask you this,
25
guys.
and 32.
If you had a GM that you really believed in,
then it'd be a different
story.
story.
You do it, right?
Yeah, I would be more likely to do it.
I would,
I'm not putting these picks in his hands.
No, but I would want to hire somebody now that I'm like, this is my guy. He's going to get it right. Because
but
if
can you hire a general manager? It's out of cycle to hire a general manager.
Well, even if it's this offseason, whatever.
Okay,
I mean, like before the draft is what I'm saying.
All right, that's fair.
Like I'm not letting Andrew Berry use any of those picks. But think about this. If I made that trade in theory, I'd have 7 first-round picks the next 2 years. 7.
And here's the thing.
Think what you can do with if you somehow got it. Jimmy lucked himself into a good GM.
Here's the problem.
If you had 7 first-round picks the next 3 years, you could turn things around in a hurry.
Here's the problem.
You're right about that.
I don't.
It's a big if.
I kind of don't agree with that.
It is a big if.
Because if you have 7 first-round picks, right? What did you have to do to get those first-round picks? You lost a lot.
Yeah.
And you traded veteran players. So now you have Judkins and Fannin and Schlesinger who lost tons of game this year.
Yeah.
Right.
You're going to turn around and go get more young guys, and then you're going to play those guys, and you're going to be worse than you are now.
Well, if you
and
hit on them like you did this past year, maybe not.
But
turn around in a hurry with the right young players.
But you still need veterans to. You got to have people that know how to win, and if you got, and you have to be at certain positions. Right now, I look at it like this: if you took Myles Garrett off that field today, the Cleveland Browns literally may not win another game.
They may not anyhow.
But at least you got people that is paying it back so they understand what it is. I'll take Myles Garrett being there to teach Mason Graham. This is a pass rush move right here you need to be working on. Or this is the way we need to run certain things. If you got a bunch of guys that is used to losing and young rookies, you're in trouble.
I would counter that, G, by saying this. What rub-off factor has he had on this organization for the last 8 years? Like, I don't know that his personality is that guy. You know, we always talk about how Ray Lewis rubbed off on his teammates and made them better. And there was a culture inside that team, we can't let Ray down. I don't know that I've ever seen that here.
Well, here's the thing.
We've lost throughout his tenure here.
I look at it.
In fairness, Ray did play with other Hall of Famers.
He had great talent around him, but you could see how guys would rise to the occasion around him. And I look, Myles, I've said the other day, I think he's going to go down as the greatest pass rusher the NFL has ever seen. I'm not disparaging his talent, but what I am saying is he has not had a rub-off factor to this point. I wouldn't expect it in the future.
Here's what I'm saying. He's a defensive end. This is the point we get. I think so often what we've done here is because we do have one person and we can point to him. The Cleveland Browns have failed to put people around your best players multiple times. I could go to Joe Thomas. Joe Thomas was perennial, the best player at a premium position. And the Cleveland Browns fumbled the rest of his career. If you play line, if you play receiver, if you play anything besides that, the other quarterback position, Myles Garrett just showed you that's the level of frustration. He's saying, I did something that not very many people ever in the history of the world, the universe, the Milky Way can do.
Only 19 other guys have done what he did
and
Sunday.
I just did that and got blew out.
Yep.
So even if he's that great, the ineptitude to put people around him is so great. He's fighting a losing battle every time he walks into that room.
Right, but what it proved to me is he can play that great. What a line score.
And it didn't even matter.
And it didn't. We got blown out by 19 points. And he played like
a game of a lifetime.
He played unlike any defensive lineman I have ever seen.
Yes.
Throwing a strip sack. Like, what more do you want the guy to do? And we lost by 19 points.
He can't throw the football. He can't run the football.
He can't. He's not on the field half the time.
That's right.
He can't.
So,
what do you want him to do?
Nobody's blaming him.
He could be.
It's not his fault.
He could be.
And that's why a good GM takes a 27th pick in the draft, a 32nd pick in the draft,
and turns it into something.
That's something legit.
Yeah, there are diamonds to be found there.
That's right.
It's not like it's the fifth round.
At this point, to get to the 7 first-round picks, you'd only have to trade Myles Garrett. That's the only player you lose. Now he's the best player.
If that deal is in fact on the
in
table.
theory, if that's true.
So this
I don't buy it, but
this will infuriate you a little bit.
Yeah.
So if they do make that trade, I just want everybody to recognize and understand when this regime took over, they were loaded.
Yes.
Completely.
They were the 13th ranked franchise by one metric.
Best top 3 offensive line. They took over that.
Yeah.
We were talking about best talent under 25 on this team.
Yeah.
Best
5 years ago.
Best running back. Top 3, right? You had a young ascending quarterback that you took number 1 overall. You had a young talented tight end. You had one of the best cornerbacks. You had Myles Garrett in his super duper prime, right? You had one of the best second string running backs in Kareem Hunt. You had one of the best third string running backs in Dearness Johnson. They took over that. And guess what? That means you fumbled the bag and had to trade Myles Garrett. Yeah. You fumbled the bag and traded.
I think you went a little nuts with the Dearness Johnson, but I love everything else you said.
That's a bit of a stretch.
I don't know about the great third.
I mean, the best third string running back.
But you're right. If the Browns, like in my mind, it feels like the Browns, if they can, have to trade Myles Garrett. And the fact that I'm even thinking that is a complete indictment of the organization.
Yes, you're right.
Because you shouldn't have to trade an all-time great player, still older, but still in the prime of his career, without a doubt.
We should not be in that position.
But the team is so bad that it may be the best way out. Like, when is the best way out trading your best player? That'd be like saying, going to the Guardians and saying, the only way we're going to win a World Series is if we trade Jose Ramirez.
We would lose.
Yeah, well, now the big difference is they're competitive.
Right,
so
exactly,
that's a bridge too far to think that they can get over the hump by trading their best player.
Yeah.
But this version of it is you're getting boat raced by 19 points in a game in which your defensive end did something that's never been done in the history of this organization.
Yes.
And you're not close to being competitive.
No.
Like,
against the team that has been a joke for the last 4 years.
Yes.
30.
Yes.
So what we're doing isn't getting us close, so we have to change course.
That's right.
At least the Guardians can say, we're close.
Right.
Like, we're not going to take our biggest piece.
That's right.
And I just want to ask you guys, I want to know, why was the theory is they're tanking this year? Why was that even allowable? Why is that even...
Gee, how often did I sit here and say that's a loser's mentality? I'm not signing up for that.
Why would they even think that was okay?
That's what they're doing.
I don't even
think they think
there's no good answer to that. I guess
they clearly do think it's okay because they're doing it.
Their argument would be what choice did they have?
I do think
that would be their argument.
Jimmy Haslam wants to win.
Their argument would be what choice did they have?
Coach and win and play and develop.
Listen, I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm telling you what their argument would be.
We mentioned, and I remember in August we had this conversation. Jason was saying, I'm telling you, they're not trying to win. No. And I just said, that's a loser's mentality, and the players they sniff out authenticity. And if you know it as a journalist and we know it as fans, you don't think they know it, how quickly do they let go of the rope? You mentioned before, that's when you start seeing guys saying, man, my hamstring, this could be a 10-week hamstring.
The purposeful tanking does not work.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
Show me the team that takes
it. Doesn't
exist.
It doesn't.
Gee, it doesn't work.
In any sport.
No.
I don't buy that it doesn't work.
There are too many variables that need to fall perfectly in line.
Yeah.
Losing is the easy part. The hard part is getting those assets that you gain from tanking right. And this regime has proven one thing. They can't get it right. They can't get the draft picks right.
And that's why you have to start
over. And so we're going to lose on purpose. I'm telling you guys, we've talked on this show a lot about the new stadium. And just the fact, and Jason always says this, it's all about 2029.
Yeah.
You expect the fan base to pay record ticket prices in 29 after making us walk over hot coals for another 3 years?
Good luck.
Who's going to be left?
Yeah.
Who is going to be left?
Good luck. Yeah, no.
You said your Little League kids don't even watch the Browns games.
Nope.
And these are sports fans.
Sports fans.
Don't even turn on the TV to watch the Browns.
I had 13 kids on my team. There's one kid who's really watches the Browns.
Okay, when I was 13,
it would have been all kids.
Every single kid.
Every kid.
Kid.
I had half of them weren't even really that interested in watching football. I got 2 Chiefs fans.
Because they win.
One kid's a Bengals fan, obviously.
Yep.
And then there's one kid who's a Dolphins fan randomly. I don't know how that
is random,
happened.
But no Browns fans.
There was one.
Okay, one. And we're in their backyard. And so what is
Broncos? There was a Broncos
shocking
fan.
to me is that we've already washed out one generation of young fans.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're washing out the second generation of young fans, and we got an owner who's placing a bet that we're going to pay ridiculous prices to continue to watch this garbage.
Yes, he is.
And that's what it is.
It's just crazy.
And it might be the career-ending bet for him. He's always going to be a wealthy man.
Sure, yeah.
But at some point, the heat might get so hot, he does sell the team.
Right.
Because I just don't understand why you would sign up for this abuse. I hear what they yell at him when he comes down on the field at the end of the game, and he's leaving the field before the game. He hears it too. At what point does D say, Jimmy, we're rich. We don't need this.
Right.
We don't have to do this.
Yeah.
It's stunning to me. I know they love power and they love the celebrity of it.
Yeah.
And they're looking, this is a legacy piece, and JW will one day run it.
Oh my God.
But at what point do you just count your beans and move to Costa Rica?
It's a good point. By the way, I don't know how I missed this, but apparently when the Browns won the game against the Packers, J-Dub was on Twitter like trolling Browns fans like, oh, where are you now? Like, as if that was going to lead to a bunch of winning.
Right, yeah.
You know, like, here we come off this win.
First of all, good idea to troll
really.
your money-paying fan base.
Yeah. When the only reason you're in the position you are is because you married the owner's daughter.
That's it.
Like, you didn't accomplish anything.
I've always told you that the folks at ESPN that cover football for a living always used to tell me, if they were to let JW go, how many teams would be lining up and they couldn't even get the question out, and the laughter filled the room.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
And I'm like, and that, Bull, is that's why I always say, the players are underperforming, the coaches are underperforming, the general manager's underperforming, but as long as the owner is the head circus clown.
Yeah, which he is. Yeah.
And he's P.T. Barnum.
Yep.
He's picking all of these people under him.
Yeah.
This is who he is. This is what the organization is.
And
he's not going to get it right until he walks away and hires people to do it.
Right. And it's not impossible to win with a bad owner, but it's much harder.
I think it's the most difficult thing to do in sports.
It's so much more to overcome.
You can win with a bad coach. We've talked about that. Some teams are so talented.
Yeah.
You're not going to win with bad players.
Nope.
And you are not going to win with a bad owner because you're going to have bad players.
It's very hard.
Yeah, it's tough.
Real quick, guys, before we move on, give me your grades for the secondary and special teams. It's the only units we missed.
I'll give the secondary a C. We've given up some big passing plays this year.
Yeah. Listen, I'm gonna give them a secondary. I give them B-.
Wow.
Because they haven't, they had a really nice game. They had 4 interceptions against the Dolphins. They gave up some big plays. They've moved some people around, but I think Ronnie Hickman has played in a way where you don't notice. I don't notice Ronnie Hickman getting cooked.
Yeah.
There's not that many, just miscommunications. Obviously, Greg Newsome got traded, but Denzel Ward, you got Grant Delpit, I think, has been playing decent this season. So, I would give him a B-.
I would actually give him a B. I got a B+ for the D-line, a B for the secondary. I think Denzel Ward's maybe having his best year. He's been great.
Wow.
Grant Delpit has bounced back after he'd kind of gone backwards the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Tyson Campbell's been a nice addition since they got him. Ronnie Hickman has improved. They've
given up a lot of passing yards in big spots.
But I think a lot of it, Jay, is just he gets so worn down because the offense can't do anything.
Yeah, I know.
And that just eventually wears the defense down.
You can see the pattern of the games this year.
Yeah.
Close at halftime, still close in the third quarter, even into the fourth quarter, and then the dam breaks and the offense throws a pick or they fumble, give the team a short field, special teams doesn't make a play, they give up a touchdown, and then all of a sudden you're like, uh-oh, here it comes, and then you got the Ravens, you've got the Lions, you've got, who was the other one that the Ravens originally?
Yeah.
There was another. Pittsburgh felt like it was a winnable game last week. Yeah. It was a 2-point game at halftime.
Right. Well, they were winning until 30 seconds left in the first half.
And then boom.
I've only been in a couple of shouting matches with coaches, and one of the biggest shouting matches that I've ever got into with a coach was we were playing Miami, right? We were playing, and this is what Ben Roethlisberger was playing.
Yeah.
And we got beat. We got smoked. And they came in the locker room. They called us in on like a Sunday. And they're like, you know what, guys? You guys, look at these guys with tape on their ankles. You guys are running around here with spats, and you guys are worried about your shoes. We told you you're only allowed to have white spats. Who has black spat tapes? And then so we sitting there. So they making us run. So we running and doing stuff. And they kept running and they yelling and screaming. And I just had enough. I was just like, listen, man. I said, man, hey, listen, I'm in shape now. You can make me run all you want. I ain't going to buckle. But here's what y'all need to do. They got Ben Roethlisberger. That game plan you put together all week with fullback dive on 3rd and 7, running the option, it ain't going to work. I think you need to watch what you're doing and make sure that you get your game plan together. Because
you said that to the head coach?
You not carrying
in front of other players.
No, the whole team.
Oh,
you need to worry about getting a game plan together. You know what, Garrett Bush? You run until I say you're done. I said, I'm in shape now. Who cares, bro? But that still ain't going to stop no dive. When you doing stupid stuff and you're going against thoroughbreds and you're playing against Ben Roethlisberger and top-notch talent and you're watching the offense out there do stuff that you know ain't going to work as a defender, it not only makes you angry, it makes you resent people. And
I can see that.
Resentment kills a team.
Yeah. Special teams, guys, I'm going to say D. Since week 1, Schmidt's mostly been solid.
He's the bright spot.
You know, the punter's pretty good.
D.
You know,
they can't get a return to save their
Maybe
life.
give him a C- just for Bjorkes.
Yeah, Borges has been great.
The return game ain't been the same since Josh Cribbs.
They're generally
That's another thing that so many organizations get right. We can't
get one returner.
We cannot find a guy that can return kicks.
Send Donovan Peoples-Jones back there for the fair catch. Come on.
What's he up to?
Workforce. 401k.
Yeah.
Gen
All right,
Pop.
Anthony.
All right, guys, let's move on to the Cavs here. Real quick, I want to remind everybody that this is brought to you by Mazda. Mazda, moving the game forward. Brought to you by those who believe it's not just about playing the game, it's about redefining it. Because these moments do more than win. They push what's possible. They remind us to go the extra yard and shift into that extra gear and keep moving the game forward, just like Myles Garrett does. That's what keeps fans and players moving alike forward, always chasing the next great moment. When you follow what moves you, the unexpected is only the beginning, and just like that, there's more to every highlight, there's more to every Mazda vehicle. Mazda, move and be moved.
By the way, the Dolphins just fired their GM.
And I saw that a report that Mike McDaniel got the vote of confidence he will not be fired this season. I guess that's a vote of confidence during the season.
Right, yeah.
See, why would you keep your general manager? And why would you keep your coach and cut your general manager?
Yeah.
I don't.
And why fire the GM?
Well, Stephen Ross, it's owners doing
another
bad
bad owner.
things. It's another bad owner.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
We can hit on that more at the end of the show, guys, but we just went and judged everybody on the Browns. I want to ask, is it fair to start judging people on the Cavs before Darius Garland gets back? Mike and I were talking about this last night. I think it is. I think they need to be able to play whoever's there or not. What say you?
No, let me think who made this comment. I don't want to take ownership of this comment. I saw a former NBA player said this. You guys might have seen it, and you'll help me with my 60-year-old memory, which is fading fast. A former player said the Cavs talked all offseason about how embarrassed they were by what happened at the end of last year, and they ain't played like they're embarrassed yet. And I thought that was a telling play. It was from a player. God, I wish I could remember. I've read so much and seen so much.
That's crazy.
But is that not telling? Because what did we hear? Donovan sat at the podium and said, this is on us. We take responsibility. We've got to be better. Now, I know it's game 4, but they looked awful against the Celtics. They looked like they were allergic to rebounds. Evan Mobley.
Yeah.
Evan Mobley.
Right.
It's not the new and improved Evan Mobley. It's the same Evan Mobley we saw last year, and you can even go back farther than that. He was not aggressive enough. He didn't shoot the ball well at all. He wasn't imposing his will like we keep hearing. And this player really hit a nerve with me when he said, all I heard was how embarrassed Donovan Mitchell and the whole team was, and how they worked all offseason to erase that embarrassment, and they ain't done it yet.
Yeah, bull. For me, it's very, with this team, they're at a different point where you got to sometimes go back and compare them to championship teams you've seen here. We've had at least the opportunity. We talked about the Guardians and the Browns. We haven't seen them do anything, right? But we've seen the Cavs be good, multiple iterations.
We saw the guards get to a World Series.
Yeah, we saw them.
Indians.
But
9 years ago.
You were four finals in a row. You won a championship here, so you should understand and know what it looks like. The Cavs are at a position where they're looking to win a championship. And when you get to that level, all of the other pleasantry stuff where you're trying to give people excuses don't exist. You're going to get graded at the highest level. And that's every time you step on the floor, because the goal is championship. Yeah. And to be a championship team, you got to have championship habits and understand what you are doing. The problem I have with the Cavs is I could watch Oklahoma City Thunder, and I know they're going to play like the Thunder.
Every night.
I could watch the Nuggets and know how the Nuggets are going to play. I can even turn around and you watch the Celtics. You know what they're going to do and how they're going to move. The Cavs, I turn the TV on, and I'm like, where's the defensive intensity? Where is the improvement individually? Where's the ball movement? And where is the physicality? We've been talking about this for years and years and years. And I'm going to be honest with you. I never seen nobody win no championship based on what somebody else didn't do. And right now we're in danger because we look around and we get comfortable because there's injuries to Jason Tatum, there's injuries to Halliburton. The Bucks look like they got dismantled. But I'm gonna tell you what, right now, I would not be surprised if they lost to Orlando earlier than they should, lost to Detroit earlier than they should, and lose to a Boston Celtics team or a Knicks team and not be that close. Because who have all out of them contenders? Which one of those teams did they beat? They lost to the Celtics in the playoffs multiple times. They've lost to the Knicks. They still continue to lose to the Knicks. So just because some other people is injured does not mean that you get jettisoned into this upper echelon. You got to play your way in there.
We're asking, is it fair to evaluate the Cavs without Darius Garland?
Sure.
Look what the Celtics are playing without.
Yeah.
Right.
They just boat raced us.
I think it's always fair to evaluate or be critical of a team. I think you got to be realistic about it and say, like, to judge it. If you're turning what they've done through 5 games into, well, that's what they're going to be for the whole season, that's not fair and that's not realistic.
We're judging them on what we've seen so far.
So what we've seen so far has not been good.
And
there's nothing wrong with saying that.
G, your point of the intensity and the effort, and I think great coaches get their players to go to another level when you're missing a starter. I just think they have that innate ability to fire those guys up. Yeah. And to make them look, you make your reputation every time you put your shoe on the court.
Yeah.
And right now, their reputation this year,
not good.
Not good.
But listen, there's been a lot of good teams, including teams with LeBron, that have gotten off to bad starts. Last year, the Cavs started 15-0. They looked like the best team, and it meant absolutely nothing. So I think it's fair to be critical of how they played so far. But does that mean they're going to stink when it comes playoff time? No. Maybe the regular season will end up being a disappointment, and then the playoffs will end up being a pleasant surprise.
I would take that.
Like past years.
I would take that.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm judging them. I'm not judging them on a regular season. I'm judging on what their deficiencies are. So they've shown certain deficiencies, like Jared Allen. Jared Allen, I don't understand. They've already done a disservice to them by putting him somewhere in this core thing. All this core 4 stuff, like, stop trying to include guys. Jared Allen was the first dude to get here, right? When the Cavs didn't have nobody and they was rebuilding.
Right.
Like, don't try to put a fence around somebody like this is going to be, like, we're going to include Jared. No, Jared Allen, if he does not rebound, if he is not physical, and if he does not play with energy, he can't be on the court. And they have to let him know. Until they start sitting people down like this. Oh, no, look, Jared, you might need to sit by me after the first quarter. When he gets 6-7 minutes, then he'll think, oh, wow, if I want to play, I better come out here and do something about it.
No, that's fair. And it's fair to be critical of the coach. And if the Cavs play in the playoffs like they're playing right now, they're going nowhere. But the good thing is it's only October.
They got time to turn. They got time to turn it around.
It's very early.
Yeah.
Darius's offense is they are missing the fact that he penetrates, he kicks, he could do a lot of different things. But my problem is, guys, you've known all along Darius is going to be out. You knew Max Strus. I'm talking about in terms of Evan Mobley.
And the way you can motivate them, too, is say, guys, remember last year when we found ourselves in the position with no Darius Garland? When we needed him?
Say that was cold. That was a rap. That was a rap lyric.
Yeah. We might need that again this year. So let's go out there and use this time without Darius as practice.
Darius,
how are we going to solve this?
Him being out should not be an excuse for them not playing.
No, I don't think so. They miss him, and he makes them better. But to your point, don't make an excuse out of it. Go out there and figure out how this team can move efficiently without him. Because you might well likely be in the same spot you were in last year.
They're more talented than Boston, without a doubt. Well, they should go out and win that game. They got killed.
Yes, I know.
They got killed.
I know. That was rough to watch.
Yeah.
Really rough to watch.
All right, Anthony.
We'll talk about that more in the TV show later, guys. Before we move on to some Emmanuel Clase comments, I gotta ask you guys, what do you get when you have a bald eagle standing on top of a silverback gorilla riding a T-Rex? Confidence, pure confidence. If you're looking for something beyond the usual pill, it's time to meet Rajit Golong. That's exactly where Rajit Golong comes in. This isn't just another ED pill, it's a total game changer for confidence. Golong combines 2 doctor-trusted medications in one dual-action formula so you can get hard and go the distance. Ready to level up your confidence in the bedroom? Head to RUGIET.com and use promo code LOCKEDONNFL for 15% off your first order. That's RUGIET.com, promo code LOCKEDONNFL. Make sure to use your code so they know we sent you.
Very good.
Do we have a clip of this Emmanuel Clase?
No, I think.
No, but I do have the quote.
Yeah,
it's a very short quote.
I don't know that it exists anywhere. I haven't seen it in sound form. I've just read the quote.
So give us the background, Anthony. Who was interviewing him?
I did not see who the interview was with. Mike sent this to me last night. Let me pull up the tweet real fast, and I can give you guys the quote. He simply said that he told me he doesn't bet. He's just waiting around right now for the MLB to make a decision. He's practicing in the Dominican Republic right now. And I will go find the tweet that Mike sent me last night and get you who's interviewing.
I laughed hysterically when I read this. That's akin to a parent telling a teacher who accused his son of cheating on a test, I asked Billy, and he said he doesn't cheat. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, well,
yeah.
Then he gets the 100%.
Yeah.
Even though when I asked him what the questions were after the test, he couldn't remember.
I'm so glad we cleared that up.
Yeah. Oh, so Billy doesn't cheat.
Okay. Billy.
I had some Cleveland baseball fans texting me going, "Hey, this is good news."
No.
I swear to God.
But it is news.
And it's news because we haven't heard anything. But I'm like, this is nothing. This is what do we expect his agent to say? And it's not like, here's what I would have maybe got excited about.
Yeah.
I've had in-depth conversations with Emmanuel, and he wholeheartedly denies ever intentionally throwing a ball. He admits and agrees that some of the evidence doesn't look great, but he has never placed a bet. He has never thrown a pitch intentionally to win a bet, nor has anyone in his circle. Now I would look at that and say, that's a full-throated, he didn't do it.
And he expects to be vindicated.
And he expects to be vindicated, and we will fight this to the full.
Right.
But you know what he said? Yeah, I talked with Emmanuel. He said he doesn't bet.
and while we understand the investigation is still ongoing, we will exhaust every opportunity to have our day in court so these facts are displayed.
We
and
can't
shown
wait until
to
the facts
public.
come to light. Like, it was none of that. Like, literally, if I'm Emmanuel, I'm calling him up going, yo, that's the best you can do? Emmanuel said he doesn't bet? Like, there is a world where Emmanuel is guilty, but he didn't ever place a bet.
Right.
That, to my knowledge, and this is all a guess because baseball has not been transparent on this, and I've been critical of baseball for that.
Absolutely.
But to the best of my knowledge, the allegations swirling around him aren't that he placed bets on his intentional balls.
Right.
It's
Why'd you emphasize it like that, Jay?
because as I was saying it, I'm like, major pause.
This is crazy.
The allegation is not that he placed bet on these pitches. It's that he might have been in collusion with someone who did.
That's right.
And that was never denied.
No.
That was never. So, I mean, like, I look at all of this, and I'm only going on what Jason told me because I've been very critical of Major League Baseball's handling of this. If this were the Yankees, would they take Aaron Judge off the team while they investigate it for the whole year? I don't think they would.
Yeah, I think they would. But
Shohei Ohtani was involved in a little bit of
what I don't understand is that was cleared up quickly.
Well, he's a superstar in the number 2 market.
What happened here?
Exactly.
So my thing is this is crazy.
It's 5 months.
It's nuts.
It's starting to make me feel a little concerned because I need a fair type of hearing or something here. Like, if you're going to sit people out and suspend them and then let this thing linger for so long, don't you have a responsibility to at least present and give them a speedy outcome? If you got all this evidence and he ain't allowed pitching here, he ain't allowed pitching there.
Yeah.
If you got all of this evidence, it should be cut and dry, right?
And you're right, and here's why. Let me give you the other side of that. If you don't have smoking guns everywhere,
right,
then you tell him you're going to be able to continue to pitch during this investigation.
right.
Whenever anybody is being investigated and they're pulled from their job during the course of the
absence?
Investigation, it usually tells me they got it on them.
Yeah.
Right.
They just have to tie up the loose ends.
Yep.
And if that's the case, why is it taking so long?
And Bull's point, which on the Ohtani thing was, this fire was a forest fire blaze and was put out in a minute.
Seconds.
And it involved the single greatest player that's ever played the game. Ever.
Well, they got a little different code of conduct. They
must.
The government over there told them, hey,
listen, I get what you're saying.
What you're gonna do.
I personally don't believe MLB would have handled this differently with a different player. There's got to be a reason for this.
Isn't Ohtani kind of a test case?
I mean,
Ohtani said, I didn't do it. And they said, okay, you didn't.
Well, but I guess they had proof. I don't know. I don't know why the two were handled differently.
Okay,
I don't
if you have
understand
proof,
why.
let us see it.
I agree with
Be
you.
at least more transparent. Say, during the course of our investigation, we came across evidence that is very incriminating against Emmanuel Clase. Not enough to completely drop the hammer on him yet, but certainly enough to continue the investigation. Was Emmanuel Clase a risk of throwing games or pitches if he stayed on the Guardians roster? I say no.
He's not going to throw more pitches.
I mean, at that point, if you get caught doing something as a kid and your parent says, well, we're going to look into this, are you going to do it the next day
Probably
too?
not.
No.
Unless
you're terrified. You're like, hell with that.
Unless you're Nate Newton.
Well, maybe.
But going forward, however it got to this point, like, free agency starts next week.
Yes.
We need the team is owed, I think, at this point, a resolution.
Do we need a closer?
Right.
Do we need another arm in the bullpen? Do we need another starting pitcher? I don't know.
I mean, what did you have that made you so confident that he got to sit down today?
And you, whatever it is, they haven't shared any of it with us.
No.
And the only thing we know about this really comes from the internet sleuths that said, man, I went back and looked, and this is what I found. None of that came from baseball.
Ultimately, if they are banned for life, then we can't complain about what happened last year. But if they're vindicated, they're open for huge criticism.
Listen, if it comes out that we found enough and we're going to suspend him for 90 games and it's already been served, okay?
Yeah.
I'm going to be furious.
Yeah, that's all.
I'm going to be furious. And Cleveland fans have every right to be furious.
Absolutely.
We've had this conversation the last couple of weeks, and it's a fun one. Would the Guardians have been able to make a deep playoff run if they had the 7, 8, 9 hitters of the Jays the other night and Shane Bieber and Bo Naylor or Josh Naylor?
Yeah.
We'll throw in Clase.
Yeah.
You know what? All of a sudden, you're looking at a team that looks a lot like the Toronto Blue Jays to me.
I don't know about the 7. First of all, one of those 7, 8, 9 hitters has been gone for a couple of years. Ernie Clement.
Yeah, Clement's been gone 2 years.
Yeah, okay, but
none
of us were talking about Ernie Clement before this season.
No, but
it's a nice exercise.
Jimenez and Straw didn't really do much for the Blue Jays.
They're both defensive stalwarts up the middle.
I hear
How do you win? Strong defensively up the middle.
But if the Blue Jays win the World Series, those guys are minor factors.
I get it, but look at who we were trotting out there.
No, I hear you.
We did have a lot of errors.
And what if we had Clase?
What I'm saying is offensively, those guys wouldn't have mattered much for the Guardians.
I don't know.
I mean,
Jimenez has one of the highest OPSs in this World Series with
I
runners
hear
in
you, but
scoring
overall
position.
for the season, he's been pretty.
He was bad. He was
Yeah.
bad. But it's fun to talk about.
Yeah.
But part of that is we had a guy that most people considered one of the best closers in baseball.
That's right.
And that's a very pivotal
that
position
is a
for
very
postseason
fair-
runs.
Yeah.
And they took him away from us.
Yeah, that's right.
And so to your point, if it comes out that no harm, no foul, you can play again.
Yeah, that's a disgrace.
Yeah,
Wow,
Yeah,
baseball.
I
You
got
couldn't have gotten this more wrong. And now there's another theory. Baseball hates whenever a team fires a manager during October, particularly late October. They don't want anything taking the spotlight away from what they want the spotlight to be, the
Okay.
World Series. So there is a world where I can see a news conference the first week in November when they come out and announce their findings.
They should at this point. There's no reason they can't have a resolution.
I mean,
by
But
now.
Bull, if they don't have it by now,
there's no excuse.
what are they going to, evidence-wise, what are they going to come
yeah,
up
right.
with?
What's taking so
so
long?
let me ask you this real quickly. If the DOJ got all these basketball dudes, if the DOJ got all these basketball dudes and they working on gambling investigations, why would they not be working on baseball?
Oh no, it's my belief that they are.
I
think there's all. I don't think
Well, it's
there's
a
a
separate
world
thing, yeah.
where the Major League Baseball didn't go. It could have gone one of two ways. The FBI never talks about ongoing investigations. It could have gone one of two ways. Someone with the FBI was tipped off by one of the books and said, wow, we've got red flags all over two of your guys. I mean, it's not just a little bit, it's a lot. You need to look at this. Baseball has to cooperate with that. They have to. So baseball then says, let's see what you have. And they maybe showed them, we had 75 irregular bets placed and paid when these two pitchers were on the mound. Okay, that's I'm just making that up.
Yeah.
It was enough for baseball to say, whoa, okay, we're going to pull those guys off the field and we're going to start our own investigation.
So let me ask you this.
But I have every belief that the DOJ and the FBI are very much involved in this.
If they don't have any text messages, if they don't have no phone records,
Yeah.
and the people who placed the bets are steadfast, and they say, I placed a bet, it was on me, and they have no correspondence
Right.
with these people, how are they going to?
Well, we don't know that
now
they don't have those things.
We don't know that they don't,
Yeah.
but I feel comfortable that they don't because the first thing that would have happened was Clase would have surrendered his phone day
Yep.
one. Once they get that phone, if there's any communications, you
any
can wipe a
records.
phone. They can still get in and find stuff.
Yeah.
So it's my guess is that when they started digging, they probably didn't find everything they thought they were going to find. I'm a big Dateline fan.
Yep.
Okay, I love murder mysteries.
Do.
I watch these shows and I see all the time that you've made the opinion that, oh yeah, the husband did it.
Yeah.
But there's no weapon.
No.
There's no body.
No. No.
She just disappeared. Now, maybe she wrote in her diary, if I ever come up missing, it's him.
Yep.
And her best friend said, well, it's really weird, but I saw him leaving in a Jeep at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I've never seen that before.
And more importantly, Jay, the cell phone tower data has him pinged
Now
3
that's,
miles away.
But see, now that's physical evidence, okay?
Right.
The circumstantial evidence is all of the stuff that she wrote in her diary, if I ever come up missing. The best friend saw him leaving at 3. All of that could be answered away. We as rational human beings can watch that and say, my God, come on. Of course he did it.
It was the husband.
But can you put him in prison for the rest of his life? Because there could be a scenario where he didn't. You don't even know she's dead.
Not even
you don't even know there's a
circumstantial.
crime that's been committed. So a prosecutor will tell you the most difficult crimes, murders to prosecute are bodiless and weaponless crimes. So in this case with Clase, I'm guessing they have already been through all the
They look-
electronic
yeah.
devices. If there was evidence, they would have known that early on, and we would have heard. Baseball wouldn't have mind giving us that at
Nope.
the All-Star break.
Nope.
They don't want to pour it on us in October because it takes the spotlight off the World Series. But if we don't hear something, you're right, Bull, we're going into the free agent season.
Yeah.
Do the Guardians need another closer? Do we need another starter?
Yeah.
I don't know. You punished us all of last year by taking these guys off the field. At the end of the day, you might be right. And I think as a rational human being, they did it. I think that.
Right, yeah.
But
But
can I end
can
their
you prove it?
careers
No, not if
But
you're not
can
and
you
sure.
prove
sleep
it?
at night? Because there could be a scenario where I don't know that this happened.
You got to be able to prove it.
I have heard that the defense that they're using is a cartel got to both or one of the players and threatened bodily harm and death to family members
Especially
if they didn't do what they had asked.
Yeah.
Okay, is that forgivable then? If
For me, it
someone
would
comes to
be-
you, Bull, and
yeah,
they say, Bull, I just placed a bet on a prop that sometime during the show today you're going to say strawberry wine. And if you don't do it, I'm coming for your family.
Yeah, of course.
No,
I know what I'm going to hear out of your mouth during that show.
Yeah.
Hey, I love strawberry wine on a. Okay, so no harm, no
That's
foul.
such a thing, by the way? Is
Strawberry
wine is a thing?
Sure, absolutely.
I know nothing about alcohol.
Yeah, it's delicious.
By the way, quick alcohol side note.
I don't really drink wine, but
We were at my show. My son was in a show last weekend.
Oh,
right?
wow.
And we have volunteers that take tickets and work the concession stand, do all this stuff.
Sure.
So Friday night, I was taking tickets, and the concession stand was getting backed up, and they asked if I would help with the concession stand.
Nice.
And they serve wine at this theater. It's because there's
Yeah.
Anyway, so they're like, "Can you be the wine guy?" And I'm like, "I know nothing about wine. Zero. I don't think I've ever
was
had."
it to be poured, or was it like handing out wine in a
Well,
box?
no. I had to pour the wine,
Oh,
which
okay.
is fine. But like people were giving me like all these nicknames, like Cobb Frank, and I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't know what the hell that is.
You're like, what's that?
I wouldn't either.
The only thing I know about wine is from watching the movie Sideways. That's it.
I wouldn't either. I mean, I know that there's there's red and there's white.
Yeah.
Well, do
And
you want a sweet red? Do
That's
you want
about
a dry
it.
red?
yeah,
That's
I
about
don't.
it.
I don't
Do you
know
want,
anything about it, man.
Nothing.
The reason I said strawberry wine is
Yeah.
because I do know some Boone's Farm from back in the day. And which high school kid doesn't? $1.99 for a little bottle of Boone's Farm.
Wild Irish Rose.
Wild Irish Rose, MD 2020.
A brick of Mad Dog.
We've all been there.
Hey, and if you get sick off that, you'll never go back. I can't even smell it.
I know, it'll kill you
Oh,
now.
First
Yeah.
wine I bought in college was $1.29 at CVS.
There you go. There's a
Nasty.
whole genre of wines. I believe they're called $2 Chuck.
Oh my
And
god.
they're like really super cheap. But
Well,
they're
not
supposed to
anymore.
be
Now
okay.
they're like $10.
Yeah, inflation there.
Yeah.
$20 Chuck.
All right, you guys ready for some super chats to end the show today?
Sure, let's do it.
Sure.
All right, from Jordan, he wants your guys' opinion on the YouTube TV versus Disney clash.
And how do you know who's to blame? in these
Yeah.
things? Both sides are greedy, and neither cares about the fans.
and they got
That's
a
true.
bunch of bags of money.
Yeah.
A ton
Yeah.
of them.
It sucks.
The loser is always the consumer.
Always.
Every time.
The resolution will end up being eventually that we have to pay more.
Yeah, somebody.
Now, however it ends up.
You're
They'll-
right
they'll
about
hype it up.
that.
Yeah.
Whoever wins, the loser,
Yes.
definitive loser, will always be us.
Yes, right. So,
From Akron Hot, you guys had the entire chat thinking that we were tripping with G. Bush being a Christmas tree.
Yeah, y'all got that. Y'all thought they were like, my TV's blinking. I said, oh, I see you right there.
Yeah,
I see
that
you.
was great
that was
stuff.
creative. That was creative.
Steve was doing it for like 5 minutes before.
Steve,
I
did
know.
you just figure
Oh, he
out you
was?
could do
Oh,
that
yeah.
today?
What was that?
Did Steve just figure out today that he could do that, or he knew the whole time?
No, but how often do you guys wear
Bro,
green?
you know what we should have
Yeah.
done for April Fools? We should have had you come in with your fit, and just for the first 20 minutes of the show, that's going on, and then when finally one of us says something, you go, "Oh yeah, I got this jacket on Temu. It's some technology. It's got a battery in the back,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
and it changes colors. Same with the hat. I
That's
would buy
crazy.
that
Yeah, look, see?
because that's
Are there-
the only thing really changing colors.
Yeah, that's
Are
crazy.
is there anything else that could? Are there any other colors, or is just the two?
Any solid green color, it's like a green screen.
Oh, it's a chroma key effect.
Yeah,
That's
essentially.
chroma key in the back here.
Oh,
that's
I
green.
see.
Yeah,
Betsy can do the weather on it later.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love,
And we're
Hey,
using G. Bush as a map to do wedding.
What would be funny is you would just show up and all we would see would be your shirt and your face, but there would be a map over everything that's green.
That's kind of crazy.
Fun with chroma key, right,
That's
Steve?
crazy. It would
You
be
can you
fun.
can you can do things
screens are a
for
blast.
days with chroma key screens.
Man.
All right, next one comes from Matt Dink. The Jets game is a must lose. # tank for tie.
The Jets
Tank
game,
for who? Who we
tank
tanking
Ty.
for?
The latest
Tank for
Ty
Ty.
Simpson, the latest quarterback from Alabama. You know, they got everybody. You know what is going to be crazy is wait till January comes, right? And you're going to actually have to deal with the fact that there are going to be multiple factions. There are going to be some people that still like Dylan Gabriel. There are going to be people say that Shedeur Sanders is done enough. They don't need to draft.
Should we draft one or not?
And then there's going to be, should we draft one? And then if you do want to draft one, who's the guy?
Yeah.
It's the
Dylan Sampson.
Dylan Gabriel.
Thing.
I don't think anybody's
There's no Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah,
and there's going to be the Shedeur camp.
Well, by then we'll know what Shedeur is,
right?
Because he better play well.
And there'll be a camp of people who say you got to build the rest of the team before quarterback.
And then you might hear somebody be like, "Hey, man, Deshaun Watson is in the mix." That Deshaun Watson conversation.
Well, no, we've heard that this year. People come on this show saying, "You know who the next quarterback is for the Browns?"
That's going to be nice.
All right, moving on from that, Akron Hot has a joke for you guys.
Okay.
Why don't the Cleveland Browns need to wear Halloween costumes? Because every Sunday they dress up like a football team.
Okay, I see what you did there. I see. Got him.
They do.
All right, Topo42 says Bengals luck hurt. Burrow leads to Chase. I'm assuming when he got hurt, what was that, his rookie season? They were bad, and then were able to draft Chase.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. That's right.
All right, from Darnell, if you want to win, you have to try to win. When you openly try to avoid doing different things to win, you can't be shocked when you lose.
Okay.
Bill Rodewall, 4G, white boy chance. For Shedeur, basic is we want Sanders. Next level, legendary. And then top shelf is substitute.
We want Sanders. Yeah, that'll work.
Or you could go legendary.
Or you can substitute Shedeur's name in the Jose chant. For top shelf chant.
Shedeur. That's all. It doesn't work.
Yeah,
it's too hard to say that.
But we got to figure out. I like the white boy chants. I like that. You guys come up with the best chants, bull nose. Yep. And by the way, if you do come up with the white boy chants, it's good for 3 or 4 points on a point spread in Vegas.
Wow.
We have the best box of saltines on the case. All right, DeLong says, I would give the kicker a B-. Miss Bell 70 says, Bull, who you know, not what you know, is a thing. DG with the same agent could be a thing. Your faith in Kevin Stefanski doesn't prove it isn't so.
Well, I want Kevin Stefanski fired, so I don't know how much faith I have in him.
Yeah.
Look at that. Listen, hey, I think the tide is shifted.
Yeah.
Tide is shifted on that. Yeah, we out on that.
But I do have faith in him. I think it was her, said yesterday that, or somebody said that part of the reason Kevin Stefanski loves Dylan Gabriel so much and is going to go to the bat for him is because they have the same agent. And I said, why would he care about that? That doesn't make any sense.
That's happened before. And
that doesn't matter.
It'll probably happen again.
He is going to the mat for him, certainly. But I'm just saying I don't buy that's the
he's
reason.
going to the mat for him because he believes he can play, not because he has the same agent. Never, ever comes into play.
All right, James Mace 47 says, I would give the coaches an F-.
Dang.
Akron Hot says the Browns playbook is the perfect Halloween prop. It's full of dead drives and ghost routes.
That was fire.
That's good.
That's a good one.
The Disciple, I believe is how you pronounce that. Brock Purdy got first team reps as the third string quarterback.
Okay. I don't know that he did.
I don't know that he did either.
I would have to go.
Remember his thrust into the lineup was sudden.
I doubt
no one knew what was going on.
That person's just got an agenda.
All right, Miss Bell says, reports from Shedeur Sanders fell for not playing in the Shrine Bowl and from bad NFL meetings. Why and how is that translating to his talent? Arch was generational on name only.
I got to blame Anthony Lyman for that. Lyman said he had a, what did he say? He said he had a comment where he said the reason he fell was because he didn't go to the Shrine Bowl or something like that. And
everything plays a factor into where you get drafted.
Yeah, I don't know about skipping the Shrine Bowl. I mean, they want you to play in these games.
Why would I don't know that he had bad interviews or not. Maybe it's baloney. But if you did have a bad interview, of course that's going to affect what
we have heard enough now to know from multiple teams that he did interview in some instances.
Yeah.
It came across not good.
I get that people...
And that stuff gets around.
I get that people like Shedeur Sanders. I get it. We all want him to succeed.
God, as a kid, I love him.
To make an argument that if he had a bad interview, that shouldn't matter. But it's always going to matter on anybody.
Everything matters.
So I think what people know is fine.
Yeah.
What I think people get upset at is you have unsubstantiated information about people. And sometimes when you say, hey, I heard this about a person.
Right.
Where I come from, you can't say I heard. You got to tell me.
Right.
That's
Okay.
how people.
But if he did, in fact, have a bad interview, if he did,
so that
should be a factor, right?
Yes, if it happens. But
Didn't it come out specifically that Dayball came out and had comments?
At this point, I don't remember.
Hey, guys,
I can't
we got a
remember
minute
either.
left. You want me to read through the rest of these real quick?
Sure.
Power
Go ahead.
All right, Brother Love says, y'all don't feel bad for 95, but you did for 73. I think some of us feel bad for Miles. Dragon the Abandoner, is there any way for them to lessen the dead cap hit for a Miles trade? If not, you need comp for the dead cap. You have to deal with it.
I don't think there is.
No.
I don't think there is. Jason probably would know for sure, but I don't think there is.
There's a reason. There's a reason they put those cap penalties in because it's
not if you trade a guy. There's no way to.
It's punitive. They make it like that.
All right. The Disciple says Herschel Walker trade. James May says Kevin and Andrew have ruined this franchise. They are getting close to Art Modell hatred, in my opinion.
Yeah, the Herschel Walker trade was a great one for the Cowboys.
All right, guys, have a good weekend. Happy Halloween.
Yeah, it led to 3 Super Bowls.
Yep.